Good evening. My company, Transparent Language, has developed unique technology that we want to give away to people and organizations that are working to save endangered languages and the world's other under-supported languages. According to the Ethnologue, there are about 7,103 different living languages on Earth. About 100 of those get any significant attention from the commercial world. The other 7,000 are largely ignored, and actually many of them are at risk of completely dying out, doing a lot of social damage in the process. Transparent Language, we would like to prevent that language loss. But even more, as crazy as it sounds, we would like to make it so that if somebody wants to learn one of those 7,000 languages, they can. So how could you possibly do that? I mean, how do you even find and connect with so many dispersed and out-of-the-way language communities? Our answer is the 7,000 Languages Project. There are people and organizations who know a lot about these 7,000 languages and care about them. Some care about all such languages, some just about languages of a particular region or a certain language family, some just about one language. And the idea of the 7,000 Languages Project is to make available to all of these people and organizations at no charge a shared best-of-breed technology infrastructure that will allow them to create and then disseminate awesome tech-enabled language learning materials. Materials that are specially designed for fast and reliable language learning and that will work on just about any computer or tablet or smartphone. The learners then could be a community's own children and grandchildren who might be at risk of losing their own native language, or the learners could be anyone, anywhere. So these students in Bali, Indonesia are educated in Indonesian, but they can also learn Balinese using some compelling Balinese learning software from the Bahasa Bali 7000 partnership. These good women revel in speaking Ojibwe, and they and their colleagues are making compelling Ojibwe language learning software as part of the Grassroots Indigenous Multimedia 7000 partnership. So we think of the 7,000 Languages Project as having two big parts, the technology and the people, and the project as bringing them together. The technology is the systems that allow someone to easily make high-quality language learning materials for a language of no commercial interest. The people are all these organizations and advocates and experts who care about and know about less common languages and endangered languages. And so then the purpose of the project is to bring the people and the technology together with energy and with sufficient support so that their work creating language learning materials is successful. And because there's no money associated with these languages, it all has to be done free of charge. So we've said that the technology is one of the big pieces, one of the two big things that you need to bring together to have this project happen. And that's why Transparent Language in particular is doing the 7,000 Languages Project. We already have that technology. We developed it for a different customer and a different purpose, but we already have it, and we bring that technology with us to the 7,000 Languages Project. So Transparent Language's primary business is inventing innovative technology and capability to support the US government's most rigorous and stringent language learning schools and programs that teach over 100 languages, and where the success of every student is critical. The U.S. government needs many of its people to have strong language capability in order to succeed at diplomacy, defense, humanitarian relief, science, health, commerce, and on and on. Sometimes we hire people who have the languages, but often we train our professionals in the languages they need. Busy professionals have no time, so we needed ways to train languages faster, much faster, to train in half the time. And transparent language develops the systems and the capability to do that. We're not talking about just one little language course in each language like you might see on some TV ad for consumer software. Our systems need to be able to efficiently create effective technology support for every purpose of a language, every course of instruction, sometimes dozens of courses for one language in a single organization. Sometimes, in an extreme example, but one that happens regularly, we need to suddenly create lots of varieties of job-related language learning materials with almost no notice and create them immediately. This is something that we call language surge. So imagine as we're here that some disaster occurs out in the world, a flood or earthquake, infectious disease outbreak. So you may remember the Haiti earthquakes of 2010, the Pakistan floods that followed later in that year, perhaps the Pacific tsunami that hit Fukushima. When something like that happens, the eyes of the US military turn toward that region, and we begin moving people and material. It's very impressive and inspiring. And as part of that, hundreds of Americans or thousands may suddenly need to learn job-related language in a language that yesterday they didn't know they would need. So here's the cool overlap between language search, which we think about as part of our business, and the 7,000 Languages project, which we do pro bono. People who are working to save or invigorate some less common language have almost exactly the same needs as a surge language team that is rapidly pumping out job-related language learning materials to help responders. The surge team is in much, much more of a hurry, but they both need simple, clear, efficient systems to create these language learning materials, materials that are specifically designed for faster and more reliable language learning and that will work on just about any device that you bring. And that overlap of interest between these two is really good news for the 7,000 Languages people. Transparent Language, we are pleased, thrilled even, to take the systems we've developed for our paying customers and provide them at no charge to the 7,000 Language team. We've done that with a lot of language, the Ojibwe and Balinese and many other languages. Our people love doing it. The only problem is that we're a small company, we can only work with a few language teams at a time. So to break that bottleneck, we invented the concept of the 7,000 partnership. And the partnerships are the key to scaling up this work. A 7,000 partnership is a company or organization that cares about languages and that is willing to dedicate some of its people to learning our systems, learning how to train others in our systems, and then to work with them. Now the 7,000 is young, but we already have some great partnerships. The National Council of Less Commonly Taught Languages and their Nickel Tickle 7,000 partnership. The Maryland Language Science Center and the Landscape 7,000 partnership. The Basa Bali 7,000 partnership. Grassroots Indigenous Multimedia 7,000 partnership. Manitoba First Nations Kurdish Language and Culture. One too new to be up there, the Alpha Edge Western African Languages 7,000 partnership, and we hope to have many more. So Transparent Language, instead of directly supporting the language teams, we support the partnership, and the partnership supports the team. And this way, we hope to be able to help thousands of languages instead of the limited number that we would have been able to support directly. Losing a language is like pulling out one more thread from the human tapestry. It flattens our cultural landscape. Losing a language can't be undone. Saving a language saves an important part of who we have been and who we are. It keeps us colorful. It keeps us strong. Thank you very much.